I want to thank the President for initiating this process. Before he initiated this process, there was concern from South Sudanese, from the region, from the international community, because time is running out. And there was no way forward. So questions were being raised. Are we going to crash? Or are we going to get a solution? Those who met me in my office or at home, I refrain from giving a solution. But I always refer them to a document we authored in March 15th, 2022, where we outline the status of the implementation of the agreement. And we said the way forward is for parties to dialogue. This is where we stopped. Because the senior person is the President.
That's right.
And clearly, he knows the challenges that are facing the agreement, the implementation of the agreement. He knows them, as we also know them. But without him making the move, it would be difficult for the rest to make the move. Although we think in IO we had made the move in March, we have said we need to dialogue so that we find a way forward. When the President presented his roadmap for democratic transition, I remember I was the first speaker after him, after the elaborate presentation made by Dr. Martin. So after Dr. Martin I spoke, I said, look, we have only two options. Crash by 22nd February, or we extend. And if we extend, the issue of the Constitution is the one that is consuming more time. And as experts say, it takes 24 months to complete a credible constitution. And the experts are Max Planck Institute. Therefore, we say this is from this activity, when we have established the NCRC, to the Constitutional Conference, and the end of the transition. You have this activity of the Constitution, you have the activity of transforming the Parliament into a Constituent Assembly, and the activity of elections. The rest of the activities fall within, including the security arrangements. That's why we came up with 24 months. Actually, the meeting finished because we are all cognizant that in the next 4 months, you cannot implement what is in this agreement. I thought they were going to talk about the percentages. 27.3% of the provisions are implemented. 31.3% of the agreement are work in progress. 41.4% is pending, not touched. So it means you have 72.7% of the agreement not implemented. You have no choice. You have to extend. Our concern was, if we extend, how do we sell it to South Sudanese? Because some people think extension is just for sake of being in power. But what choice do you have if you don't extend? If you don't extend, you go to square one. And we all know what the square one is. If you extend, then you will be accused that you want to stay in power. It's good that we are 5 parties in the agreement. If it was one party, then that one party would be accused for manipulating the situation in order to stay in power. So, but I want to say, the extension is genuinely for this peace agreement to be implemented. Nothing else. Because the people of South Sudan have a right to elect their leaders. After independence, we call for a transition. Before the independence, or while we were discussing the transition, others were saying we should go for elections. But we saw it was premature to go for elections. The national institutions were not established. The cadre that is supposed to run these institutions were not there. Some of you will remember we had to establish a diaspora desk in the office of the president to attract South Sudanese that have gone to diaspora to come and help in establishing the system. Now, we have unemployment. We have the necessary cadre to run the system in South Sudan. So there would be no need of a transition. But because this agreement, the title is, I didn't pick the title, don't accuse me, but it tells you, revitalize agreement on the Republic, on the resolution of the conflict in the Republic of South Sudan. The agreement addresses the root causes of the conflict. So if you don't implement it, then the root causes of the conflict will instead